Let's be honest, if it didn't happen on Facebook, it just didn't happen, right? I'm just kidding. But honestly, some people feel that way, and sharing their details on their social media, well, that has just become a part of life. From vacations to your kid losing a tooth, everyone feels like they got to share everything on their connected digital life. But sometimes Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, well, they don't like you as much as you like them, and they may lull you into sharing just a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Right, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, in a recent study, they found that 90% of people say that their friends and family share too much online.
I believe that.
And 59% of those people said the number one complaint are other people constantly complaining.
Yes.
And so what we do is we tend to spend too much time just kind of chronicling our day on Twitter and Facebook and saying, hey, I'm going to the coffee store, I'm going doing this. And then it just becomes all more noise and buzz in our lives. And so this is really about sharing too much information rather than just sharing like just the important stuff. Essentially, if you wouldn't tell your friend about it in 3 days, it's probably not something you want to be posting anyway. Does that kind of make sense?
That's good life advice. Okay, so don't post unless you tell your best friend in 3 days.
And so what a lot of people do is they share too much information about themselves or others. And so they'll say, hey, I'm going to that doctor to get that thing removed off my foot. And you're like, oh, what are you doing? Don't talk like that. I'm not interested. Or they'll show photos of other people's children. And it's kind of a social faux pas in this digital age to show pictures of other people's kids without getting permission first. Or they'll post embarrassing photos of their friends or of their kids. And the thing about photos is you can't get them back. Once they're out there forever. And so imagine if your teenage daughter saw something you posted about her online. She's going to be like, Mom, seriously, what are you doing? You're embarrassing me.
I think a lot of people don't realize that once it's out there for life.
Yeah. And then what a lot of people do is they don't even realize this. And I'm at fault for this one. Is I did this really cool flyer for my son's 3rd birthday, and I put our address on there because we were saying, hey, come over to our house for a thing. And I was just showing it off. And then my wife says, what are you doing? You've got our address on there and you're posting this on Facebook? That's crazy.
No.
So I had to take it down real quick. So these little mistakes can sometimes happen to everybody. But here's the thing is if you're a normal digital poster, and let's say you're going to Instagram and you're posting your photos and you're allowing them to be geotagged, people can look at that geotag and figure out where you live, where you go to school, where you shop, where your kids go to school. And so you have to be really careful when you're doing geotagged stuff and who you're sharing it with.
Well, Ryan, I got in trouble for that because I didn't even know what geotag was. And I was on Instagram and I was like, oh, cool, I'm here. But then it just shows you in the map exactly where your house is.
Exactly.
And that's straight up scary.
Yeah, so the first thing you want to do is check your settings. Go in there and take a look and see what your settings are. Make sure you're sharing with only friends. If you're sharing with friends of friends, let's say for an example, we're going to talk about vacations here in a second. Let's say you're saying to your friends, hey, I'm going to Hawaii, this is so cool. But you accidentally shared it with friends of friends instead of just friends.
Right.
And your friend Joe comments on it. And now his sketchy friend Jeff sees you're going to be out of your house for a week and he needs a new Xbox. Guess where he's going?
He's going to that guy's house.
So check your settings.
Vacation.
Make sure it's friends only, and then occasionally you can set this on different posts. Hey, I'm going to share this with everybody, or I'm going to share this with the public. Facebook offers a thing called check settings, check privacy settings, and you can go in there and it'll give you a little checkup and show you what you're sharing. You can also view your profile as though it's from the public, and you can see all the stuff you're sharing and decide, hey, I need to take some of this down, or you can edit it that way.
So kind of edit yourself and check all your details.
But we were talking about vacation. A lot of people, they get really excited about vacation and they post their itinerary or they post their tickets online, and now all of a sudden everybody knows you're not going to be home for a while, and they go shopping at your house. No, but you just want to make sure you're very careful with that. Plus, if you actually post your tickets, they can be forged because they can just take that picture and they can check onto your plane before you get there. So you just have to be careful about that kind of stuff.
So careful.
But here's what we were talking about before the cameras rolled. So don't post your financial information online. So there's a Twitter account called Need a Debit Card. You go to twitter.com/needadebitcard, and on there you can see people posting their debit cards.
I could not believe this, Ryan, and I went on there, and I encourage our viewers to go Need a Debit Card on Twitter because people literally took a picture of their cards, their brand new cards. Thanks, Bank of America.
Sometimes with their face next to it too, like, I'm so happy I got my card, and Garfield's on there or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. But some people will even share, like, I just got done talking to Wells Fargo, and I'm so mad that they messed up my credit, right? Well, now any hacker that's looking at their webpage knows where to start. Now, I know you shop or you bank at Wells Fargo, and so I just need to hack their credit cards in order to get in. So be careful about what you're sharing as well.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, and then there's also a place you can go to called, this is great, I love this website, pleaserobme.com.
Pleaserobme.com.
And what this will do is it'll take your Twitter account and your Foursquare information and kind of look at them together and decide, hey, here's all this information you're sharing with the world, and it shows you when you've been vulnerable and kind of gives you advice on not to do it. So pleaserobme.com, I just think it's a funny name.
It's funny because it makes you be alert and listen, and it hopefully check yourself out.
Yeah.
So overall, Ryan, the major lesson here in all of this advice?
But I would say the number one thing you should do is check your settings. Make sure you're not set to the default of sharing with friends, just friends only. And then on each post individually, if you want to share it with the world or the public, then you can actually select it and say, yeah, I'll share that with everybody. And then unlink your Twitter and your Facebook accounts, because if you're posting to Facebook and it's automatically posting to Twitter, you could be sharing private information with the world, so be careful of that. Yeah.
All right, use discretion and check yourself out.
Yes.
So Ryan, before we go, tell us how we can get in touch with you. You're always on call.
Oh yeah, the best way to get a hold of us is at 1-800-919-6373 or 1-800-919-NERD, or you can go to the website at callnerds.com. On our blog, we have all kinds of cool tech tips and ways that you can use your computer and your technology to do fun stuff, and also like advice columns on how to protect yourself online.
I love it. Well, callnerds.com. Ryan Eldred's here, our tech expert and our favorite nerd. Thank you for coming here.
Hey, you're welcome.
We really appreciate it.
I love coming here. I love Fresno. It's such a
Come
great
back
time.
soon. Bring your Legos.
I will.